He's what?
It's very cute.
We know that.
Good.
We know that's Jim Monroe's grandson. The Walrus.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go. There's nothing from CRMC and DEM, which is really nice for a change.
No more legs growing in?
No more grass spots?
No, there's no more. Nothing going at this point.
Let's go.
And I just checked the mail on Sunday, so, or Saturday. Okay, Conservation Development, the Planning Commission is scheduled, Lisa's scheduled June 9th. If anybody wants to be there for that, that will be Scott Millar's presentation. It'll probably be very similar to the one that we, probably be the same presentation.
It's good to have some of us
there.
there.
I think, yeah, if people can be there, that would be nice, because that will be their chance to hear about conservation development from Scott and with his, give that presentation that he gave to us. And there may be some questions that we can help answer or whatever. The other thing was, I did talk with Mike Swistak today, got a slice of heaven when he was in there, and he seems to be pretty much on board with the whole concept, but he also feels that there are members of the commission that need to be brought up to speed on the whole thing, and I think Scott will be.
Council Commission?
No, the Planning Commission.
Oh,
yeah, and that'll bring them up to speed, and I think they'll be much more in favor of, at least they'll answer all the questions that they had.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Barry Holland, who was Barry Holland has stepped, or he's either term expired or stepped down, so he's not there, so he'll be replaced by somebody else. No, and I think Mike Smith will be, I think Mike will come around hopefully if he can see the presentation. So, anything else on that? And Tony has moved, but he is corresponding with Lisa. He's making the changes in the document that we talked about that night. So that'll be done, and then I assume whatever the Planning Commission, whatever they do with it, we'll get a final copy before it's approved. But Tony's still on board with that. Okay, Kate's not here to talk about bike paths. There's nothing on there. Planning, I just gave you the survey. Lisa did show me the questions. They're putting out a comprehensive plan survey, and there's a section with like 4 questions on wildlife, and they were pretty innocuous.
A comprehensive plan survey?
Yeah, she's doing a survey. It's questions to help direct the comp plan revision. And she had a couple questions in there about wetlands and a question about bird habitat. And I said, well, you might want to change that to wildlife habitat, be a little broader instead of bird habitat. The questions that came from the Planning Commission, they weren't that, I don't think that's right, the questions. It would be like mother and apple pie. Okay, the last meeting we had a presentation by Hayden McLean, and we didn't have it on the agenda to approve it, so it's on the agenda here. So
these guys didn't see it.
Same issue.
Same, guys. Jeez.
It all boils down to truancy.
Where the heck? I know we're gonna start.
Truancy, not that I was sick.
Truancy. Now Carol, that's the first time Carol has been to a meeting. You're absolutely right. You two were not here for that meeting, so we can't. We're gonna have to put that to the next meeting.
Well, Chris,
hear about it?
if you have a quorum of the people that were there, you can approve
We
it.
don't have a quorum
Of the people?
The 2 of them were there, we're both not there. She ran out of gas and she was sick.
So were there 3 or 4 people?
There's only 2 of us. Well, we had 4 people over there.
You had 3, right?
We had 4.
Oh, you did have 4. Okay, yeah, so you'd have to. All right.
We had too many high flyers on the commission.
You guys really make us have 2 meetings a month.
They were on truck and flying around.
Poor kid.
Me just sitting on the ground.
They would gladly trade for the hours I spent on the highway. I believe I was in bed,
Good breakfast.
playing small kids.
That's a good picture, that's a good precedent
I
times.
think I would know all
This
this.
is got a copy. Nice picture. That was right out front of the lighthouse. Spent a lot of time out there now.
It's okay.
Plus the California times.
Just very often.
All right.
No, it ain't.
All right, we'll continue that
Pretty
one.
marvelous.
Jeez, Carol, Round Marsh restoration.
Round Marsh restoration. I do have some,
Good news.
well, not just
Continuing
news.
good news.
Not just continuing news, not good. So I haven't seen you, Maureen, I don't think, but we did get $15,000 from the CRMC. I think that was announced last month, which is excellent. So that was less than the amount that we asked for.
What's already asked for?
I think they asked for 27, but a huge portion of that was the cost of construction mats. So they gave us 15, but that also came with some suggestions for where we might be able to get construction mats loaned or, you know, donated on borrow or cheap lease. So we're working on that. Chris and I actually went out and met with Laura Ernst, was trying to, used to be a CRMC staff person, she's now an independent consultant, but she was trying to broker some possible relationships. National Grid has a bunch of construction mats. They need to do nice things to make it look good. She thought they might be willing to donate the use of the mats for the project, so she was going to make some contacts. She is in the process of following up on that. I haven't been able to get any more specific information out of her, but that's coming, so that looks promising.
They could advertise on the mats.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
For all those aerial shots, right?
So I'm hopeful that that $15,000 will be enough to seal the deal, that funding shouldn't be an issue. We should be okay. The second thing that happened is the engineer that had been working on the project from NRCS moved on to a new job in Oregon. There is a new engineer coming who's been assigned to this project and is excited to get started on it, but she will not be arriving until June. So in early June, when she first gets here, we've got a list of things to discuss and next steps for what needs to happen with the plans before we can put the permit together, find out exactly what CRMC needs to see, but there's a little bit of engineering work that still needs to be done, and that's at this point not going to happen until June, which means we're not going to get it back until July or September or August, which means it's looking like another year. But the money's there, it's not going anywhere, it actually might even be here if the town will write it, so.
It's
It'll
investment
happen,
help,
yeah. Well,
The money's not, there's no problem.
gathering dust and interest.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no problem with CRMC in holding that money for us.
No,
Okay.
no, I think this is totally typical of the way these projects run.
So
So
we,
The engineer, CRMC engineer?
the
Yeah.
engineer is from NRCS, who provided the WIP grant, that initial $67,000 worth of funding. So that money's still there, allocated towards us. It's just, we have to kind of work on their timeline for that technical support. So it's coming, it's moving, just not
do you want
very
to
fast.
set up a meeting when that person gets on board, then we can all just do
That's
another
what
site
we're in the process
visit?
of doing right now.
Do another site visit.
Yeah, so I'll let you know, but I mean,
Okay.
they are starting to do.
Okay, one thing we want to do is probably can dovetail this now with the town, with the Greenway thing.
No.
The path, no, I mean dovetail in terms of if we're going to do some clearing or you're going to do some clearing, we can
No.
at least have them go in the same area. Say no.
I don't think the 2 permits should be.
No, I'm not saying dovetail the permit, no, they're 2 separate permits, but what I'm saying is that along the right-of-way there, there's going to be a trail, and we're also going to access it for the disposal area, the composting area. So we have at least, Justin is putting the trail together now, so we need to look at that to make sure that, you know, that we can do both together.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, the first priority is the Brown Marsh thing, but I think the trail's going to go inside the woods there too.
Okay.
So, at least we can take time. Does everybody know Alan?
I think so.
Our council.
Alan lives there.
Our council
Yes,
is Pat Driscoll and I'm sorry, Maureen Cole. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She's our council liaison. Might pass it on to other people, right? More environmentally aware people, we should say. Welcome. Thank you. Yes, yes. Yeah, you missed a good presentation by Eagle Scout candidate. We're getting there. That's what happens here. All right, is there anything else, Carol?
Top of the pyramid.
Nope, I think that's it. So
Okay.
I'll keep you all posted and let you
Do
know
we-
when there are things that, you know, you can be involved in, but it's just so.
Okay, so the water monitoring data that I get from Kim, that's okay?
I'm sure that's fine.
Okay, do we need to do any monitoring this year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna do that, what, you know, what we need to do this year?
Same thing.
So we have to start all over again with the same, so we'll have 2 years worth of data, pre-construction.
I think that would be ideal. I mean, that would be what we'd like to have.
Do you wanna pull out that, your whole plan that we did last year, so we make sure we get volunteers on board, or find, if we have to pay people to do it again?
Okay. So.
No, I mean,
the-
Beth is forwarding me all of our fish data.
Yeah.
She